This podcast is part of the Pull Up a Chair podcast network. Let's build community through connection, conversation, and collaboration. This podcast is sponsored by Lever Consulting, editing with a purpose. Check them out at leverconsulting.com for a free consultation.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
And I'm V.
And you're listening to Cringe With Me, the podcast where we dig up the cringiest articles, questions, and tidbits of human culture to review with you, our listeners, so you too can cringe with me.
I'm hypocritical, but at least I know we could be beautiful or maybe terrible.
Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Are you sitting at the edge of your seat?
Oh my god. I mean, I'm ready for this. I don't know that I can't. Trying to follow last week's act is going to be impossible. I kept the theme of disappointing parents.
I mean, I feel like we've been doing a good string of that. We started with the deadbeat parents. Then there was the ass getting, and so...
I'd actually like to go back and find out what percentage of our episodes are, for example, deadbeat parents or just disappointing parents. Mm-hmm. I want to know what percentage of our episodes are about unfaithful spouses or partners, because I feel like that's also a pretty reasonable one.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like if you take out disappointing parents and unfaithful spouses, we're left with a very small percentage of our episodes.
Okay. So here's the deal, guys. At the end of the year, in December, we're going to do a best of month. How about that?
Oh, that could be fun.
Where we do an episode where we talk about all the deadbeat parent episodes. We do an episode where we talk about all the unfaithful partners.
Yeah.
And then we'll finish off the month with talking about the episodes that just don't fit any category, that are out of nowheres.
I'm definitely going to have to break it down by like theme to see like what percentage. I'm very curious, but we'll do it at the end of the year. I like that. That'll be fun.
Good thing you're locked up in here and you have nothing else to do than record episodes with me.
Exactly. I am in the dungeon.
Yes, the girl dungeon.
The girl dungeon. Okay, so this week what I have for you is in the theme of disappointing parents. I'm going to tell you that the title is a little clickbaity and will give you the wrong impression. We're just going to go for it.
Oh, I love that.
There will be a plot twist. So, the title. Am I the asshole for buying my daughter a new car for her 16th birthday without talking to my wife about it or buying new cars for my sons?
I would... right off the back say yes, but
right?
You already told me that it was clickbaity.
I did. I warned you that the title was going to mislead you.
Yeah.
I promise it will. We'll get to the plot twist after the second paragraph, I believe. So, first thing. I have 4 kids. Lucas, Jace, Henry, and Katie. So Lucas, Jace, Henry are the 3 boys, 24, 22, 17. Katie's the youngest. The girl is 16. Okay?
Okay.
When Katie was born, I was worried that we might end up favoring and spoiling her since she is our only daughter and youngest child.
That is a good thing to be concerned about as a parent. You need to be aware of your own biases.
Sure. I tried my best to never show favoritism and always treat my kids equally, but it turned out the opposite of what I expected.
Uh-oh.
Plot twist. My wife clearly favors our sons.
Oh.
I tried everything. I talked to her, tried therapy, asked her parents to talk to her, showed her research about the negative effects of favoritism, but nothing worked.
What do you do at that point?
Right, okay, so we're starting at this point. Already you can tell that, like, maybe this is shifting. For each kid's 16th birthday, I helped them buy a car. Mm-hmm. They each had to save money, and I would double the money they have saved and buy a car with it.
That's great.
So what he does is he says, hey, I'm warning you, save money till your 16th birthday. On your 16th birthday, whatever you have saved, I'm going to match it. We'll buy you a car.
That's a great way of going about it.
Cool. I mean, like, you're teaching them responsibility, but you're still helping them financially. Great mix. Love it.
Yeah.
So, cool. We also have a tradition that the birthday boy/girl will choose all the plans for that day. Where we go, what we eat, etc. Okay, so a birthday seems pretty reasonable, right? You have some birthday decisions to make, birthday authority. That was also the plan for Katie's birthday. Keep in mind she's the youngest. The 3 boys have already done this.
Yeah.
They've already done this 3 times. This is the 4th child. On the day of Katie's birthday, Henry, the one who's a year older, had a basketball game, and my wife told us she wants to go with Henry instead of coming with us to celebrate Katie's birthday, because apparently it was an important game. Henry, the kid who's playing in the game, told her she doesn't have to come. He's like, no, this isn't that, it's okay, you don't do this. But she insisted. She wanted to be there. We argued over this, but she ended up going there, and Jace, the second oldest, went with them as well. So it's just the oldest boy, Lucas, the father, and the daughter, Katie.
Blink, blink, blink.
Right. I asked Katie what she wants to do, but she busted out crying and said she doesn't want to do anything. Lucas went to her room and talked to her and finally convinced her to come with us, but she refused to choose what to do and was silent the whole time. So I did the only thing I knew would make her happy. I took her to the car shop and told her she can choose whatever she wants, and I'll pay for it and she gets to keep the money she saved. So he's changed the paradigm of this.
The mom changed the paradigm.
He changed the paradigm of the financial arrangement.
Okay. Okay.
This is what he's saying. He's like, hey, I was trying to cheer her up. I was trying to change the narrative because it felt like she was being unfavored.
Yeah.
So he tried to favor her. Okay. It really improved her mood. She chose a car, and then we went to her favorite restaurant. And then the oldest boy, Lucas and her, they went out together because apparently they wanted some sibling time, and I'm too old for what they wanted to do. Okay.
Okay.
When she came back home, she seemed very happy. She told me she loved her birthday. When my wife heard about it, she got mad at me and said I had no right to buy a car without talking to her. And it's not fair that Katie got a new car for free when our sons had to save money for a used car. I know it's probably wrong to do this, but it made Katie happy, and Lucas thinks I did right. Lucas was the boy who actually stayed.
Yeah.
So, am I the asshole?
Okay. I have so many thoughts and so many opinions right now.
Right, yeah. This is a complex one.
Okay. If it was like out of nowhere, like let's say the parents have been treating her equally her whole life, and then he did this, it's like, okay, obviously that's wrong.
Yeah,
but she had not been treated equally her whole life.
Right.
And I feel like that is what shifts it. But I really understand where the mom is coming from in terms of just the financial aspect of it. He shouldn't like spend that much money without talking to her at first. Yeah. But I feel like the biggest asshole here is the mom. Yeah,
I agree. I think it's a common trope or story that the youngest gets spoiled, right? Mm-hmm. It sounds like kind of the opposite has occurred, where the youngest has been ignored for the older siblings by the mom specifically. It seems like the dad's tried to keep things balanced, but has found like, hey, this is unethical. We're doing something unethical with our daughter here, and to falling on deaf ears, right?
I know he's tried everything from the sound of it.
I do think that it's not like when you are married to someone and you share finances, I do think it is pretty wrong to make a purchase that large without consulting. Agree. Maybe money's not an issue. I kind of get the feeling it's probably not. If they have 4 kids and they've been able to buy a car for all 4 of them, to me that says money is not that big of an issue in this family, and so maybe it's not that big a purchase. Maybe it sounds like it from my perspective because I grew up poor, but for them, maybe the car purchase is not that significant, in which case maybe the wife doesn't have as much legs to stand on.
I wish there's more detail. Knowing their financial situation would be helpful, because like let's say this is his personal savings. Then the mother doesn't have, like, any legs to stand on. Sure. But if everything is split exactly 50-50, then he should at least talk to her. But let's say the car she got, like, $2,000, he paid, like, $2,000, and they have, like, a couple $100,000 in the bank, then don't complain about $2,000. Yeah. But also, like, in what ways does she favor the older brothers? Obviously here, the brothers can do whatever they want, regardless of how it affects the rest of the family.
It does. So the only instance of the favoritism that we see is for being like, I'm not going to spend your 16th birthday with you, which is bizarre to me. That seems wild. But, you know, I don't know. I don't even like birthdays very much. But to me, I'm like, this is such a slap in the face to be like, we have a tradition of doing this thing for their birthdays. You've been through 3 of them.
And that's the thing.
We're not going to do it for you.
It's been a tradition. It's not like, oh, it's a random birthday. Yeah. And for birthdays, we usually do this, but we sometimes don't. No, this is exactly how it's been for every single brother. But your brother, who doesn't think it's that big of a deal if you're not there, you go for him.
It sounds like that part of the tradition isn't even the 16th birthday thing, that's every birthday.
That's every
right? It's
birthday.
like their
Okay.
birthdays have this
That
tradition.
just makes it even worse.
And so it's like, and I get if there's the basketball game thing, right? Like, hey, we've got conference, I don't know basketball terms, whatever. We've got a big championship game coming up, right?
Big sports day.
Yeah, big sports day. And like the brother not being able to go makes sense.
Yeah.
And the parents even being like, oh, I kind of want to support them because it's a big tournament. I get that too. It should be a discussion with the daughter, not a, hey, this is what I'm going to do. It should be a, hey, I know it's your birthday today. These things happen to fall the same day. Can we like do your birthday celebration the day before or the day after? We're going to do all the normal birthday stuff. We're just going to shift it one day so we can go as a family to your brother's sporting event and then as a family celebrate your birthday. Like,
See,
that's
that
a discussion.
Would be great. That would be
But it doesn't
excellent.
sound like that discussion happened.
No, it seems like her birthday was completely ignored in favor of big sports day.
Yeah, and to me that feels not great, right? Like that feels wrong. Although for this Am I the Asphalt post, I do want to put on the tinfoil hats for a moment.
Okay.
Okay, so we're
I got
putting on
the
our
hats
tinfoil
on.
hats. We're going conspiracy theory time. What if the dad is just completely oblivious to what's actually happening? Okay. What if the daughter actually just manipulated the situation? What if the daughter makes herself appear unfavored by the wife?
And the wife isn't actually...
And she's just got daddy in the palm of her hand.
Oh.
And she used this because daddy went out and bought her a car, and then she went and hung out with her brother and ditched dad. Right? You can interpret this as, I got daddy to buy me a car, daddy took me to dinner, and then after dinner, me and my brother went and did things we didn't want dad to hang around for because he's boring and he's dad. And the dad is totally fine. And the older brother's probably like, wow, you really milked dad for all you get out of him. That's amazing. Right? Like,
Yeah.
for what we know, like maybe they've just got a thing and he's just like, I bet you could do this. You know, we don't know.
Yeah. See, and it also seems like very clearly that the siblings are split up. The oldest brother favors the youngest sibling, and the two middle brothers are like butt buddies.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a pretty common child dynamic when they have that much separation. Because like the oldest and youngest are 8 years apart, right? And like my brother and I are 11 years apart. And we get along way better than I got along with any of my other siblings because we didn't grow up together. He was 7 when I moved out. We were not playing in the same field, so we never conflicted. Whereas the siblings you're closer to in age, you're going to have conflict with. You might get along, you might have more in common with, but you also have more conflict with because you're going to fight over the same, call it resources, right? Whether that's parental attention or toys or games or whatever.
Cookies that are currently in the cookie jar.
Exactly. So it's this interesting thing where I'm like, oh, I wonder if there's some weird dynamic going on here. And my tinfoil hat mode is like...
I like the tinfoil hat. Daddy's a sucker.
Did this girl just make daddy a sucker? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It's an interesting dynamic.
The only thing that falls flat on that is the mom not acknowledging the daughter's birthday.
Yeah, it sounds like the dad is actually pretty... So, taking the tinfoil hat off, it sounds like the dad did his research about parent and child dynamics and, like, parenting, and was like, hey, I'm worried this thing is going to happen. Hey, this thing is happening when you do something about it. Why aren't you listening to me?
Yeah, and then there was also the therapy aspect, which I wish he went... I want more details.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Dad Dude, we want an update.
Yeah, I wish there was an update for this one, but there is not as of right now, and I don't see any more posts by the original poster, so...
That sucks, because I want to know it all!
Yeah. Anyway, I think that one's wrapped up.
Okay, guys, so we'll catch you next week.
No, we'll remember.
We'll remember.
Yes.
We got brain cells.
I have at least 2 of them.
Okay, great. I'll borrow your other one.
Okay.
We'll see you guys next week. Bye!
Goodbye. All right, well, I'm Ryan, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram under Build Right Roll, where I post about my professional Dungeon Master experiences. You can check out the links in the description if you're interested in hiring a professional DM or looking to level up your own DM skills.
And you can find me, V, at Cringe Queen at Instagram and Twitter, or check me out on YouTube as the Queen of Cringe, and be embarrassed with me.
All right, well, thanks for listening and cringing along with us.
And we'll catch you next time with more awesome cringe content.
I'm hypocritical, but at least I know we could be beautiful, or maybe
Hello, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Andrew.
And I'm Christian.
And I'm Allie.
And we are Rad Theater, a podcast where a bunch of friends play role-playing games and share a single brain cell, and the GM doesn't always have it. Oh, and it's theater spelled the correct way, Theatre.